Hello everybody. If you have been following my page on YouTube, you can see on my post as well that I post things that are gonna be coming for upcoming videos, but sometimes also news that I think maybe people that like what I like wanted to see. So I noticed yesterday that from Bob Wolf, he made a fantastic video about the clear cells. Now he did the full clear. So everything that literally was part of this Joy-Con was to become clear. Now that is a lot of work, especially when it comes to this part that you have to remove so many ribbon cables. It kind of discouraged me when I saw it, but I knew when I saw the D-pad that I wanted to do a version of it. It didn't have to be exactly what he did, but I thought that it would be a good idea to give it a shot because I love D-pad. And the solution I had beforehand on here was this fake D-pad that you will put it on top of buttons. It was very rough to use compared to this, and it was not the best, but it was better than nothing. Now, since we have this option, anyone interested in a Joy-Con to have a D-pad, definitely this is one of the best options right now. This is really good, this is really responsive, but there are some things to talk about. Now I'm going to talk about it later in the video. The first thing I'm going to talk about is in general the mod. Now, as I said, I will do a different version from what he did, and I did the most lazy version that possibly you could do. And what I did was literally remove the top of the case, remove the sides of the case, and just transfer the guts, anything like until I had to remove all the screws. I will leave on the description the extremerate video that was really big guide. It's 1 hour guide, but you don't have to do all of that if you have the essential version, which is what I got. And I even reused some parts, a lot of the parts of the original Joy-Con, so I wouldn't have to use any of these buttons here. I didn't like how they felt, so I went with the aesthetic of the original Joy-Con plus the D-pad, and everything else is from the original Joy-Con except the clear cell. So that is what I want to do. I thought it was the easiest thing to do. I was done both of them together in 1 hour. Most of the things that took time for me was some ribbon cables that I had to move because there was a secret screw that I couldn't find where it was. So I started taking the ribbon cables and it was trapped below a ribbon cable, and it's not visible until you move that ribbon cable. So for this Joy-Con, you will have to remove some ribbon cables, and it's a little bit of annoying to put them back in, especially the one I had to remove. It was really annoying to put back in because it had to be exactly in that place. Now on this Joy-Con, it didn't really have anything wrong with it. It just took time because I had to make sure that everything was fine, and pretty much sometimes like I forgot things. I forgot to put the membrane. I just put the D-pad, and then the D-pad was sinking in and stuff like that, and it was weird. But now that we're talking about the D-pad, you can see here, because I love the transparent thing, like I don't really have to say and try to describe how it feels and stuff, because now you can see from here, this is the normal membrane just as it is on this one, right here. And what that means is that this is a membrane for buttons. So what is the pros and the cons? The pros of using this like that is that it can pass the contra test. A lot of people love to not have to, like, no matter how you move around your D-pad, it doesn't give any direction. As you can see here, that's why I put Street Fighter 6. But the moment you put it on, the moment you press both directions, you can see that it's there. Now, for me personally, It is not my favorite because I'm used to do external sliding. This is a little bit hard to do, so you have to do a little bit more internal sliding when it comes to that. But once you get used to it, it actually performs really well for Street Fighter. I found it very easy to use. Now, I thought it was gonna be hard, but the way that they have made it with the angle, I'm not sure if you guys can tell. You can see that it's sinking in. The way that they have made it and how it clicks, it's made like that when you're trying to push it, not slide it, but push it around without really sliding your hand, you are getting the input that you want. So it's not really a bad thing at all. For durability, I cannot really speak. I just put it on. The only thing I can say is that it's a little bit thicker, and when I put it on this case here, it's a little bit harder to slide down, but it's not like, oh my god, I feel uncomfortable pressing it or something. You know, it is not like that. But I definitely feel like this is pretty good. I can pull off things on Street Fighter that usually I have trouble on, even when I was using this thing, this DPAD cover that I talked about before. And to my surprise, because as I said before, the D-pad was a little bit finicky. When I saw it on the picture, you can't really tell. But when I saw that it sinks in like this, you can definitely tell the difference, like that it's more like buttons. So you have to also understand, when we are talking about D-pads, right? When you have something like this is a unified D-pad, right? And when you're pressing it on a position or you move it around, it's like the whole thing is moving, right? So you have danger of putting top many times if you move it like this. Now, because this is buttons, that is way harder to happen, but also comes with a little bit of stiffness when it comes to some things, but it's not impossible to do any of the techniques even on fighting games. So I don't think you're gonna have really a problem even on Street Fighter, but it will take a little bit of use to it. Now for platformers, I think that this is gonna be the best. Like when you're playing platformers, Silksong and stuff like this, I'm really excited to play them again like this, because it was a little bit of an issue for me that I couldn't play with the D-pad these games. And also you can see that even when you have the Satisfy grip, you have no problem. You have a little bit of a gap, but you don't really feel it. When you're moving it around here, you don't really feel it because you don't do the external thing that I usually will do. If I had to do it like this, sliding, it will be a little bit of annoying, but because you have to do it like this, that you don't really move around, this internal kind of pressing, you don't really have an issue. So there is that, if anyone was wondering about that. But I think the biggest part about this mod is that you can customize it the way that you want. I think it turned out fine with me, even with using the original parts, like everything. This kind of like black and transparent aesthetic together with the OEM buttons. I wish I had a black D-pad. That will be way cooler, but maybe sometime I will fix that. The mod went pretty well though. Like as long as you can follow the instructions from the extremerate thing, I will say it's totally worth it for anyone that wants to have the D-pad, because this whole thing was like, this mod was like $15, 15 US dollars. So take that into account. Be sure, if you want the non-everything transparent, to get the Essence version. You can get it from Amazon, you can get it from their own website, however you want, if you are interested. But I wanted to show it a little bit off, just to show you like what you can expect, right? And everything. So like you can have like the DPs and everything, supers, And let me show you a little bit of as well. Maybe if I put some Honda. And I think now finally I will be able to use non-modern controls anymore. That's cool. So we have that. And oh, I wanted to show you also that when you're using this D-pad, you see that it doesn't move up and down unless you press it. Like you see my hand moved. So I think this may be pretty good for charge characters, that you get different inputs for getting forward or for getting up. So yeah, if you're playing Guile and stuff like this is gonna be pretty good D-pad for you. So I think that is pretty much what I wanted to show here. I don't really play grapplers, so sorry if anyone was expecting like to see that. I don't really play grapplers, so yeah, you see like I have the skill here. I don't even know if you can do it normally. So yeah, there is that. That is just what I wanted to show for everyone. Let me just show you a little bit of platformer. Alright, I said platformer, I lied. We're gonna see Metroid Fusion. Alright, we go here. It's pretty responsive. Oh no, let's grab. In my opinion. Oh my god. Well, playing through the camera is not is not easy. Oh my god. This is sad. But okay. We got there. What next excuse? I prefer Metroid Fusion. Metroid Zero is the worst. Haha. Anyway, I think you can kind of tell from how it works that it looks pretty good. And how responsive it is also. Especially for going to ball form and stuff. Or like, one of the worst things with the fake D-pad that I had before was like doing diagonals up and keeping there. That was one of the worst things. And in general, when you're playing Metroid, one of the worst thing is, even if you have this, like the L button or the R button, sometimes just doesn't work like that when you want to do it like really fast. Or like you want to do it down. So I think that this way, this D-pad is definitely way better than I expected, because this doesn't have a pivot, so it means that everything that you register is buttons. And because it doesn't have a pivot, if you try to push it in, you get everything. Like you see, like it goes crazy. But because it is hard to push it down, I think most people won't really have a problem. That a lot of D-pads that don't have a good pivot, they would be like a little bit easier to just press it in. But because this is the way that is like a button actually below, you don't really get the issue until you really press hard. So yeah, I think most people gonna be fine, but you may have to adjust. If you're like one of those people that just presses with all your power the D-pad, you will have to adjust. Or maybe this is not for you. But yeah, like this is my opinion about this product. I think it's worth it definitely for anyone that wants a D-pad. Make sure that you watch the guide that I'm gonna post below on the pinned comment. Make sure to watch the guide before you even purchase this, so you will kind of know what you end up doing. And you can see the video again. As I said, I did the most lazy thing possible just to get the aesthetic and, the D-pad. That was the most important thing to me. I didn't want to do crazy things and crazy buttons. Just wanted a simple D-pad. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this? Are you gonna do it? Are you thinking about doing it? Let me show you how it looks once again outside of the thing. I think it looks pretty cool, and the plastic is fine. Like, I don't really think that it feels cheap, but it definitely feels like different material, kind of. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Very, very happy with this thing. See you next time.